Hello, I'm Tim Boddington, President of the Historic Preservation Alliance of Colorado Springs, and I'd like to welcome you to our 2021, our 20th annual Historic Preservation Awards. Each year, we take great delight in presenting the great achievements in our community in historic preservation. And I'm standing here before a beautiful restoration project at the First Lutheran Church on North Cascade. And it's a perfect example of the great work that our community is doing to preserve our great history. So in 2020, we suffered through the worst parts of the pandemic, and now in 2021 we actually got to enjoy as an organization a few months of in-person fun. We did our historic tours that were outstanding. We had great attendance, and we couldn't have done all of this without the wonderful support of our members. So today, as we gather together to enjoy this video, which we're doing because of Delta, it's going to be a celebration of the great things that are currently on our nomination list of things that receive awards, and I think you'll be impressed with the list. It is an outstanding array of projects and people who have made wonderful things happen in our community. So please take a moment to review this wonderful video, enjoy it, and give us your feedback and help us by joining Historic Preservation Alliance of Colorado Springs at hbasprings.org. And thank you very much. I'm here with Pastor Travis Norton, who leads an incredible and intrepid group of preservationists, if you will. Your congregation has made a commitment to preservation in the incredible restoration work of the Jewett Peel Mansion. And Pastor Travis, can you tell us a little bit about what this whole project meant to you?
Yeah, we started this renovation project probably 5 years ago. I've only been here 3 years. But to honor Pastor Paul Peel, and we had this beautiful mansion, we called it the Parish House, and we wanted to honor him, but of course it was falling into disrepair, and so we had to do some investigation to see, is this a building we can save, and then make the determination of whether we wanted to save it or not. We had options. We could say, you know, it's going to be too expensive, it's going to be too difficult, let's tear it down, we need parking, we could do parking here. That would have made you very sad, I know.
Very sad.
But you know, you come in here and you look around, and this is a jewel. This is a beautiful place, but it's a place that needs to be used. And so we decided, you know what, we're going to invest in it. And so we did a capital campaign to raise $3.1 million to bring it back to life. And we wanted to make sure that we brought it back to life in a way that we could use it, but that didn't diminish the historic quality. So we took the challenge on and brought it to the congregation and said, we think it'll cost, you know, $3 million or something like that. And so we had a capital campaign goal of $3.1 million. Congregation came back and raised or pledged $3.6 million, and which is good because that's about how much it cost in the end. And we started the project back in the early 2020, yeah, that's right, 2020, and then finished it just in August of 2021. And it's a building that I think maintains that historic view and nature, but it's also something the community can use. And we want to be a gift to the community. We want to be good neighbors. And so we're using it for community groups to come in and use the space free of charge for those who are 501c3 groups to have their board meetings, fundraisers, volunteer training. We use it for 12-step groups and addiction recovery groups. And then we also use it for church ministries. We have a new youth center downstairs, and everything is fully accessible now, so we can use it for all ages.
That is an amazing story. So congratulations. This year you are being awarded an award for preservation in our category of civil and civic historic restoration. And so I'd like to congratulate you and to present you with this award and to tell you how grateful we are for the outstanding project that you have created here.
Well, thank you very much for this award. We appreciate that. And actually, folks from the Historic Preservation Alliance came through before we even started to give me a tour and to point out, hey, this is worth saving. This is important. And I'm grateful for your knowledge and your partnership in this project. So thank you for this.
Thank you very much.
We are here at the newly rehabilitated and redesigned Broadmoor, Manitou, and Pikes Peak Cog Railway Depot, celebrating their 2021 grand reopening with a Preservation Honor Award in the category of commercial. I'm Roxanne Eflin, and as a board member of the Historic Preservation Alliance of Colorado Springs, we are thrilled to honor the Anschutz Corporation and the Broadmoor, architect Mark Nelson, and Bob McGrath Construction with Jeremy Elliott as superintendent for this remarkable $100+ million rehabilitation and restoration project. This depot complex is an exciting blend of rehabilitation and compatible new construction. It serves as the base of the 9-mile, 130-year-old cog railway, which is the highest in the world. It was an incredible engineering feat when it was designed and constructed by Zalman Simmons in 1891, and it remained as challenging to restore over the last 3 years. Over $100 million was invested by the Anschutz Corporation in this complete project, with the track, the Swiss train cars, the LEED certified Summit House, and this extraordinary depot complex. And all of this allows for a remarkable experience for tens of thousands from around the world to stand on the summit of 14,115-foot Pikes Peak. Incredible amount of work that you've done with this project. It's amazing.
Thank you.
So proud.
Thank you very much.
I would like to present Joy Prather and her husband, who is not here, not able to be here, have done a wonderful restoration project which is behind me. And I congratulate her and her husband for a remarkable job on compatible reconstruction. Joy.
Thank you.
And this is on behalf of the Historic Preservation Alliance.
And so for this Award of Excellence, why don't you tell us a little bit about what made this project so special to you?
Sure, I'd love to. This house did not have a garage, as the carriage house is down a block from here, and we felt like we needed a new garage, modern, and so we had this built and designed by Mark Tremmel, an architect here in Colorado Springs, and to match the existing house. And to start with, we were able to acquire some brick to match the brick on the house, the original house, and this brick came from Denver, Mendoza's brick, and we built this vestibule and to connect the garage to the main house back here to the kitchen. And this window here was on the original part of the house and just beyond, and so we pulled it out and put it here so we could use an original window so we could have a view of Pikes Peak from the kitchen. And we did this window, another window here on the end, which was actually a door, and all these windows were found in the cellar, and we used that for the architecture to resemble what was originally here.
What other challenges did you face in this particular project?
Well, some of the issues that we had were removing part of the wall that surrounds the property. We had to remove just 2 sections of it, and we did that and saved all of that brick to also use on the garage here. And so that was probably one of the big issues that we had.
And you took particular time and attention to address the existing architecture and try to match it as closely as possible so that this garage looks like it belongs.
Yes, we did. On this vestibule, there's a balcony on top. That balcony matches the balcony on the front of the home, so it's very similar. We wanted it to look similar, but not exact, so people knew that it was not original, but fit in well.
Very well, I might say. So, on behalf of the Historic Preservation Alliance, congratulations on your award.
Thank
We're
you.
certainly grateful for the wonderful care and determination to turn this into a beautiful project. So, thank you
so-
very much.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
I'm here with Drew Fleetmeyer with Fleetmeyer Construction, and we're awarding today our Historic Preservation Award for Trades and Craft to Fleetmeyer Construction for their dedication and commitment to the historic preservation field of restoration. This building behind me, of course, is McAllister House, we're all familiar with, and it's one of their wonderful projects that seem to sort of exemplify a niche that they have fallen into, and they just excel at it. We've just had a tour by one of their project laborers, that's the wrong word, superintendent, and he did incredible amounts of work on the restoration of just the shutters. But Drew, tell me why you guys like historic preservation projects.
I think we've been doing it a long time. We've probably been doing it 25 plus years. Started at Colorado College. We've moved our way through McAllister House and First Congregational Church, many different properties in Colorado Springs that have needed a lot of historical work on them. Stained glass windows, like we say just here, shutters, kind of the whole gamut. I think that we enjoy it. I think we're very good at it because we self-perform all of our work. These are the same guys that have worked for Fred Fleetmeyer Company for 20 plus years, and it's the same guys that are doing every single project that we do. And it's great to be able to restore and rehabilitate old Colorado Springs buildings.
It's an incredible story. You've been doing it yourself for how many years?
Well, I started when I was 14.
Okay,
that
so
would
about
be way
10
back
years.
when, yeah, about 10 years. And then when I finished college in 95 is when I came back and been working for Fred Fleetmeyer Company for full time.
Outstanding.
And I think the first one that I started on was was Colorado College, excuse me, on their cupola that was up on top of their admissions building. And we've just, over those years, navigated through, it seems like every year or every other year, we wind up doing one of these projects.
And how is it working with the state? Is that something that you can say has always been easy, or you accept the challenge and you make it happen?
We have not had any problem with the state at all. Charisse, that does these grants and that we work with on almost every single one, is very, very easy to work with. But you know, we're a very unique company, and even outside of the historical, we really don't ever have any problems with anybody. We're really easy to get along with and have had no problems with the State Historical Society at all, and look forward to working with them on many more projects here in the Springs.
Well, we're certainly here to congratulate you for your outstanding performance in this area, and the Historic Preservation Alliance is presenting you this Award of Excellence.
Thank you
and
very much.
we thank you, and on behalf of our membership, just keep doing wonderful things.
Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. So here we are at Hooked on Books, waiting to do a book signing with Mike Pock, who is the author of this wonderful new book, Colorado Springs Then and Now. And so the Historic Preservation Alliance is here to award Mike an award for his recording of the great history of Colorado through his book and his photography, and all of the great narratives that he derived from his interviews with the different people. And it's a wonderful book, and I encourage everybody to come buy one. But here we are, and we're awarding this to Mike to thank him for being, number one, committed to this project, because I know it took a long time.
It did take a long time.
How long did it take?
It took me 2 years to complete the project, but the project actually got started about 5 years ago. It
Wow.
was just through a casual conversation that it was mentioned that somebody wanted to do a then and now project, and then when I found out a couple years later that we were celebrating our sesquicentennial, I said this is the perfect opportunity to do something like this.
And you put a special spin on it, though. Tell us about that.
I did. I specifically chose not to exactly duplicate photos that I found in archives. I wanted all of the photos to have my signature to them. I decided that I wanted to photograph things in my own style. Plus, I also focused on people who are doing great things in our community. I really loved finding old photos with people in them, and I wanted to know their stories, so this was an opportunity for me to tell the stories of people who are doing great things in our community.
Excellent. And so that angle propelled you to a different sort of then and now story, because it isn't just the places, it really was the people.
It's the people, yeah, because they're part of our history moving forward.
Clearly.
And I was even given a whole bunch of links by a friend of mine of other then and now projects to look at for ideas, and I refused to look at them because I wanted this to be my own.
Excellent. And we're sure nobody else is going to copy you, right?
Well, maybe someday they'll use my photos for a similar project.
Well, we hope so.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Mike. And so we want to say thank you for all the hard work you put into this project, and to let you know the Historic Preservation Alliance will always be excited to see what other things you do.
Well, thank you very much, Tim. I certainly appreciate the recognition.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Al Rohr. I'm a member of the board of the Historic Preservation Alliance of Colorado Springs. We're here today at the Gazette to provide a citation of award for historic preservation for all of the work that's been done recently and in the past by the newspaper, our local newspaper. Here with me is Vince Busdeck. And Vince, I kind of curious about some of the background, the historic preservation articles and so forth that you folks have provided over the years. Is that something that's become an important part of the paper, or just an adjunct to the other news?
Well, it's a very important part of the paper. We have a daily history page that's our best read feature in the paper every day. I think just because Colorado Springs residents really love their history. So we expanded on that, as you know, last summer, and every day ran a history piece on the 150th birthday of the city. And we've been doing this almost as long. It's our birthday, 150th birthday next year. So we've been there right alongside the city creating history. So we wanted to be a big part of that celebration.
Well, Vince, on behalf of HPA, I want to hand you this award and personally thank you for all of the work that you folks have done. You've kept the continuity going from the time the spike was installed, and I just want to congratulate you and the paper.
Al, thank you very much.
You
and
bet.
Thanks for all the stuff you guys do
You
to
bet.
help us pay attention to our history. I appreciate that.
Well, we're colleagues.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
are.